When everything around us seems to grow dark, when doors close, answers don't come, and fear seems to grow within the soul, there is a force that never fails, a light that does not depend on circumstances, that does not go out with crises, and that is not affected by diagnoses or bills. This light is more than a belief. It is a living spiritual power, which begins with a declaration. The Lord is my light and my salvation. And if you are here today, it is not by chance. This message found you because your soul is seeking direction. Before continuing, write this phrase of faith in the comments. The Lord is my light. Write it with your heart, not just as words, but as a choice. Many people start the day with a heavy heart, already fighting battles that haven't even begun. Thoughts of scarcity, fear of the future, worries about bills, health, and what others will think. Anxiety suffocates before breakfast. And do you know what's most shocking? It happens to almost everyone. The difference between those who sink and those who rise is in one thing, the union between faith and action. And that's what Psalm 27 talks about. It's also what Napoleon Hill, author of Think and Grow Rich, taught so much. Without faith, no thought becomes creative. Without faith, no plan becomes reality. David, surrounded by threats and enemies, wrote something surprising. The Lord is my light, of whom shall I be afraid? It is not just a pretty phrase. It is a mental code, a psychic shield, a repositioning of the soul in the midst of war. This inner attitude is what separates the victorious from the defeated. What about you? Have you trusted in the light, or have you allowed yourself to be dominated by the darkness of negative thoughts? Comment below. What is your greatest battle at this moment? Anxiety? Discouragement? Lack of direction? Right, because healing begins when the truth is recognized. David teaches us that light is not the absence of struggle. It is clarity in the midst of struggle. Hill said that mental clarity is the first step to any achievement. Faith, in this context, is the lamp that guides us one step at a time, even if the complete path is still hidden. Don't wait to see everything before taking action. Say with faith, even though I can't see, I continue. This is the kind of positioning that transforms chaos into direction. If you want to put this into practice, here it is. When you wake up, firmly declare this truth. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Even if your mind resists, declare it. Even if fear screams, declare it. Write down your fears, and for each one, respond with a biblical truth. Next to, it won't work out, write, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Next to, I have no more strength, write, the Lord is the strength of my life. This is not cheap motivation. It is soul reprogramming. Napoleon Hill said that fear is a state of mind, and states of mind can be controlled. Faith, expressed in Psalm 27, is the ability to control your mind and surrender it to a higher power. When you combine this with practical action, you activate the creative mind. You become, as he said, a living channel of achievement. So don't wait until you feel like it. Take the first step today, even if it's small, even if it's imperfect, because action turns on the light. And here is another invitation. Tell us in the comments which verse from Psalm 27 has spoken to you the most so far. You can write just one word, but by saying this, you affirm in the invisible what is becoming real within you. And if this message touched you in any way, share it with someone. You have no idea how many people are struggling alone and need this light. This journey that begins with Psalm 27 is not about theory. It is about transformation. What you decide to do now after hearing this truth can define the next days of your life. And if you want to continue receiving this type of content, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell, because here you will find faith with clarity, principles with depth, and teachings with truth. The world may scream darkness, but you have been called to carry the light. May this message be the spark that rekindles your courage, awakens your mind, and repositions your soul. Because when faith meets action, no one can stop you. And now tell me, do you choose to live by faith, or will you continue to be trapped in the same patterns of fear? Write your choice below, and let's go together, because the light is already within you. Have you ever felt like you were smiling on the outside, but falling apart on the inside? Have you ever had that moment when you seemed strong to everyone, but deep down, you just wanted to take refuge? David knew exactly what that was like. He was anointed king, acclaimed warrior, a leader before men. But even surrounded by applause, he was also persecuted, betrayed, abandoned. And what did he say in those dark days? "The Lord is the strength of my life. Whom shall I fear?" This is not just a declaration of faith. It is a decision about where to place your trust. What about you? In whom or in what have you placed your stability? Comment here. What is your greatest source of strength in difficult times? Napoleon Hill claimed that every hardship carries within it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. But to reap that benefit, you need to be emotionally prepared. There's no point in wanting external victory if you're broken inside. There's no point in wanting wealth if you don't have emotional control. There's no point in having opportunities if you don't have clarity. David wasn't invincible, but he was unshakable because his foundation wasn't in the throne, the army, or circumstances. It was in God, and that's why he was strong even in the desert. True strength is not built with bricks or weapons. It is made of inner values: faith, courage, patience, self-control, and perseverance. Napoleon Hill said that lasting success comes from a well-structured mind. Without inner balance, any achievement falls apart. Have you ever noticed how some people achieve everything and still feel empty? This happens because real strength does not come from outside. It comes from the soul. Comment here. Which inner value do you need to strengthen most today? Faith, courage, self-control, or patience? So here's a practical exercise. Develop a spiritual routine to strengthen yourself. It could be a moment of silence, Bible reading, meditation, or prayer. It doesn't have to last for hours, but it needs to be intentional. Feeding your spirit daily is like building a wall around your mind, brick by brick, day after day. And if you think you don't have time, think about this. How much time do you spend weakening yourself with social media, news, and toxic thoughts? Redirect your energy. Avoid filling your mind with tragedies. Choose wisely what enters your eyes and ears. What you consume mentally shapes your strength. Surround yourself with words of faith. Read out loud verses that lift you up. Repeat biblical affirmations with conviction. Declare, "Even if the world falls apart, God is my refuge." This is not wishful thinking. This is mental training. This is spiritual repositioning. Napoleon Hill said that emotional control is one of the pillars of success. Whoever masters emotions masters destiny. Don't wait until you feel strong to act. Strength is not a starting point. It is the result of small, consistent decisions. Every time you forgive when you could take revenge, believe when everything tells you otherwise, move forward even when you're not sure. You add another stone to your inner fortress. So comment below. What small action will you take today to strengthen your mind and your faith? A simple step can change your entire trajectory. When David wrote, "When evildoers rise up against me, they will stumble and fall," he wasn't just talking about soldiers or arrows. He was talking about invisible enemies, those who have no face but paralyze the soul. Anxiety, doubt, procrastination, fear of failure, comparison, insecurity. These are the modern armies that try to defeat you from within. And let's be honest, how many times have you started something with enthusiasm and, soon after, sabotaged yourself with negative thoughts? Comment below. Which invisible enemy torments you the most today? Napoleon Hill said that the greatest enemy of human beings is the uncontrolled mind. An untrained mind becomes a breeding ground for sabotage. According to him, controlling the mind is the key to conquering any reality. When you train your mind to think positively, in a focused way, and based on faith, you shield yourself against fear. And do you know what's most impressive? Psalm 27 shows us exactly that. David was not free from fear, but he was guided by conviction. He did not deny his enemies. He declared that they would be the ones who would stumble. Let's put this into practice. First step, identify your invisible enemies. Grab a pen and paper right now. Write down the thoughts that have been paralyzing you. It could be, "I'm not capable," "No one values me," "I'm going to fail." Name what's oppressing you. Second step, respond to each thought with a truth. Use verses. Use affirmations of faith. "I'm not capable," I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I'm going to fail. A righteous man may fall 7 times, but he gets up again. Do this every day. Repetition creates transformation. Napoleon Hill taught that the human mind needs daily discipline. Just as the body needs physical exercise, the mind needs spiritual and emotional reinforcement. Make it a habit. Wake up and affirm truth. Before you go to sleep, declare your progress. When a sabotaging thought arises, say out loud, "This does not define me. I am guided by faith, not fear." This is not self-help. It is identity reprogramming. And this is how you bring down invisible giants. And remember, action is the antidote to fear. Every time you act, even if you tremble, you break the cycle of doubt. Do something. No matter how small, take a step, record a video, call someone, write that message. David won because he didn't run away, he faced it. What about you? Will you keep fighting against yourself? Or will you make your invisible enemies stumble with the strength of your faith? Now, comment below. What limiting thought will you rewrite today with a spiritual truth? Writing this will mark a turning point. It will be your way of declaring to yourself and to the world, "My invisible enemies will no longer stop me." And if this chapter spoke to you, share it. There are many people fighting mental battles in silence. And perhaps, through your attitude, someone will receive the strength they need to continue.